Well, hello everyone. It is Karen Ann Harlos, once again, the Pink Parliamentarian, with my weekly tips and tricks on primarily Robert's Rules of Order. And that's what we're going to be sticking to this week. Remember, I do have a business website at pinkparliamentarian.com where you can check out my rates, which I do think are, if I don't say so myself, very reasonable, and I do offer free brief consultations. So let's get right to the topic this week, shall we? Which is generally vote thresholds, with the two most commonly found in parliamentary law being a majority vote threshold and a 2/3 vote threshold. We already talked in depth about a majority vote, so we're not going to get into that here, except to say that is the basic unit of measurement in order to make a decision of the assembly. Let's go and take a look at RONR, Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised 1.6. which states the basic principle in a deliberative assembly is that to become the act or choice of the body, a proposition must be adopted by a majority vote. But sometimes there are vote thresholds which are 2/3. So how can you quickly tell and be right most of the time when a vote does require that higher threshold? Well, one way is to remember what these parliamentary rules are based upon, and that is rights. Going back to my notes, the rights in Roberts are based upon a regard for the rights of the majority, that's number one, or two, the minority, especially a strong minority, greater than 1/3, which is where the 2/3 come from. Three, of individual members. Four, of absentees. And five, of all of these put together. For this discussion, it is number two, of a minority, especially a strong minority, greater than 1/3. So there's two quick tips to ask yourself. And if either of these two questions are true, 98% of the time, it's going to require at least a 2/3 vote. Here is the first one. Ask yourself, would the motion that I am about to make foreclose upon the rights of other members to do something that they would, in the absence of the passage of your motion, be able to do? If your answer to that is yes, it's nearly certain that your motion is going to require a 2/3 vote. Let me give you an example. Calling the question, which is moving to end debate. That requires 2/3 because in the absence of the passage of your motion, members would be able to debate 2 times, up to 10 minutes each on each question. So you are foreclosing upon a right that people would otherwise have. The other question to ask is, does this question affect organizational stability, such as changing a bylaw or a special rule of order? In those cases, it requires at least 2/3. Now, we're going to do another show, probably the next one, on suspending special rules of order, which has another special vote threshold, majority of the entire membership. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We're not going to deal with that here. Right now, we're dealing with the 2/3, which is always one of the vote thresholds. There is another exception. Actually, we'll probably do a bonus episode on that, and that is when suspension of the rules is protecting the rights of even a smaller minority of 1/3, such as the right of an individual member, then it cannot be suspended in the face of a vote, negative vote, at least as much as the minority that is being protected. But we're dealing with broad outlines here, and you're going to be pretty safe most of the time with saying it requires 2/3. And I would be remiss to add that there are other times when it can be just a majority of previous notices given. I know this can get complicated, but I'm giving you the quick and dirty. You can take a look at Robert's Rules of Order 814 for that second question on organizational stability, which I said you can ask yourself. So just remember, most votes, it requires a majority to become a decision of the assembly. There are certain cases in which it requires a 2/3 vote. And there's actually an index in the back of Roberts that says all of the motions that would require a 2/3 vote. In some cases, such as in suspending special rules of order, there are alternative vote thresholds, such as potentially a majority with previous notice or a majority of the entire membership. But the quick and dirty tip is if you are affecting the rights of others that they would already have in the absence of your motion or affecting organizational stability, it will not require a majority. It will require a 2/3 vote. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this and it gave you a little knowledge. I would appreciate it if you would hit subscribe and the notifications for this channel. I would love it. You can also check out my other work, which is Pink Flame of Liberty, where I do libertarian political commentary, and also Jurassic Dictionary, where we take a look at an old, dead, dialing, obsolete, or otherwise historically cool word. And again, those shows are also like these, 10 minutes or under, not Pink Flame of Liberty. Those can be a marathon. I thank you for joining me this week. I hope you have an awesome week until the next time we can talk again. Thank you so very much, and you can check me out at pinkparliamentarian.com, where I would be happy to be of service to your organization. Bye-bye.